Burns & Wincek is a consumer bankruptcy firm that not only specializes in bankruptcy, but also specializes in helping small businesses, individuals, come up with financial solutions to very difficult financial problems. Located, our main office is downtown in the South Loop at the corner of Dearborn and Jackson in the Monadnock building. Both my partner and I started at very large consumer law firms. Those are places where people are a number and not a name. We're a small firm. We believe in a personal touch. Everybody is a face and a name. Everybody has their own story. Everybody has their own issues. We personally know all of our clients. Debt causes stress. It causes problems in relationships. It causes problems with employers. It causes problems with your cash flow. Everybody that comes and sees me, sits down at my desk, has generally exhausted every option that they have to deal with their debt. They're being hounded at work. They're being hounded at home. They're threatened with garnishment, repossession, foreclosure. They potentially will lose their home. And they've tried everything else they can. People come in and they're in a desperate strait. Debt in and of itself causes problems, and it does cause stress. You can start reestablishing your credit after your bankruptcy is discharged. Depending on whether you do a Chapter 13 or a Chapter 7, you're able to reestablish your credit, and that's something that we can help you with. It's something that we actively counsel our clients on, and it's something that's fairly easy to do. As long as you're willing to put in the footwork, you can get your credit back on track fairly quickly. Basically, what debt consolidation is a negotiation tactic that's used by a third party to get you into a repayment plan. The problem is that those repayment plans are not sanctioned by either the state or federal court, and your creditors can pull out of them at any time. I've had many clients over the years who've entered into a debt consolidation program and paid for 2, 3, 4, even 5 years, 6, 7 years, and they still owe more at that time than they did when they initially came in, because it doesn't stop your late fees, it doesn't stop your over the limit fees, and your creditors can pull out at any time. That's the problem. Bankruptcy is a smarter choice because if you're able to file a Chapter 7, you're able to eliminate your debt. It's a quicker, cheaper, and easier option. If you have to file a Chapter 13, you have the sanction and the protection of the federal court that will, when you propose a repayment plan, it has to go through a process where your creditors have a right to have input into it, but you also have the supervision of the court, and you have the protection of the court. That's the key element, the protection of the federal government from your creditors. And your creditors, once you're in a Chapter 13 and your case is filed, can't do anything to you. They can't even contact you. They have to contact you through me. And they can't do anything as far as collecting your debt. As long as you're making your repayment plan, you're going to be fine. You're going to get rid of your debt, and you only have to pay back 1%. You don't have to pay back 100%. And that's based on a whole host of factors, but a Chapter 13 is a much smarter option. It's a 3 to 5 year repayment plan, and even if you pay for 5 years, you're going to get out of a lot of debt because you're only paying a fraction of it over time. Contrary to popular belief, taxes are dischargeable in bankruptcy. There are some taxes that are not, but a majority of them are. If you can't discharge them in a Chapter 7, you have the alternative of doing a Chapter 13 to repay those non-dischargeable taxes on a 3 to 5 year repayment plan, based on your income, based on your expenses, and based on the amount of the debt. A loan modification is basically a negotiation with your mortgage company to renegotiate the terms of your mortgage. There was some legislation that passed the House, it didn't pass the Senate, whereby a bankruptcy judge would have been able to mitigate that in court. You can't modify a loan in federal court or in state court. It's purely voluntary on the part of the mortgage company. And I've heard horror stories of people who have been trying for years to modify their mortgage. And what we do is we interject in between the mortgagor and the mortgagee, the homeowner and the mortgage company, to try to facilitate a meaningful reduction in their mortgage, a meaningful payment reduction, or a whole renegotiation of the mortgage itself based on the current value of the client's property and their financial situation. What bankruptcy is a system. I kind of liken it to a funnel where you throw in all of your financial problems and it works its way out. Debt causes a lot of problems. It causes problems at work, relationships, at home, and it causes a lot of stress. Everybody that comes and sees me and sits down across the desk from me has exhausted all other options. They've come in, and most people don't want to see me. I've got friends that do adoption work, and they're the happiest people in the world because everybody's happy. People who come to see me because of bankruptcy are not happy. They've had difficulties. They've had a loss of job. Maybe they've been divorced. Maybe they've had illness. Maybe they've had loss of income streams from rental properties. Maybe it's just all gone crazy. Bankruptcy makes sense. It makes sense to put things in order, get you going, get you back on the right track so you can rebuild your credit, get your life back. You're not stressed. We pull the creditors off of you because your creditors are calling. It stops all of that. You can keep your home, you can keep your car. We can get your financial life back and back on track. It makes me feel great. I worked at a large law firm, several of them as a matter of fact, and I didn't really have, it was a kind of place where you didn't have contact with the same people all the time. Somebody would meet with one attorney when they first came in, they talked to somebody else on the phone, they would meet with somebody at the meeting, there might be court hearings, there might be things that happen like that, and it wasn't the same attorney. The people that I represent are not only my clients, but many of them have become my friends. I enjoy helping people and giving them away because when you have all the pressure of debt, it clouds your vision and it clouds the things you do. I'm happy to try to help people get back on track, and it makes me feel real good when I get a Christmas card or I get a thank you note or somebody takes me out for a beer. It makes me feel really good that I'm able to help somebody who has been in a situation where they felt very confused, very alone, and felt helpless. And I'm there to help them. That's what I'm there for. That's what I'm here for now. Burns and Wincek, debt relief, stress relief.